New Year's anti-resolution. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. There's a whole lot of talk about resolutions this time of year, and it's one of those things I've gone back and forth on quite a bit. I've talked a lot about it. You can go back and watch or listen to the previous episodes that we do nearly every year talking about resolutions. I come to an understanding about it just for myself, where sometimes I have something very specific I'm focused on, but most of the time I'm more into resolving to continue doing what I'm doing, what I have going. And that when it comes to resolutions, I think that people tend to either give too much emphasis to it or to completely ignore it and be against it absolutely. And I think both sides can stand to be moderated a little bit. So for example, first, the people who are just absolute for resolutions completely, I think the biggest problem that they run into is as soon as something breaks, as soon as something doesn't fit that resolution, as soon as you start going the opposite way, you fall off the wagon, whatever, then it's like your entire year is shot because you're basing it around a calendar date, right? It's nothing more than that. There's nothing special that happens to the earth. There's nothing specific that happens on New Year's Day. It's not specifically the winter solstice, it's kind of what it's based off of, the fact that we're switching the years out. And just besides that, there's nothing physically special about New Year's. It's all mental. It's all this fact that we've all kind of adapted to a same calendar for the most part. Most of the world is adapted to this one calendar, and it's just a time where we say, okay, this is where we're turning a page. Well, we've gotten this far around the sun, and we're back in the same spot, and this is the time of year where we're going to focus on it. So it's great for a marker. It's really useful for a marker, and if you need an annual marker, it's a great time to look at it. And it's something we can all have kind of in common to a certain extent. So because of that, resolutions have a good side. The problem is that, like I said, people can take it too seriously and they miss the point behind it. If the point is to have a change, is to make a change in your life, don't focus too much on that specific point that you're trying to change. Instead, work on changing the system that makes that happen. So if you're looking at losing weight, and you say, well, I'm going to work out every single day. Well, if you miss one day, that's one day. You get back up on the horse and you could start over again. You could say, I'm going to do it 365 days in a row, whatever you want to set a goal, that's fine. But don't focus so much on it having to start on the 1st of January. It doesn't need to. It's a convenient time that we all kind of talk about. Every day that you're experiencing is the first day of the rest of your life. And you take it for what it's worth. And you do whatever you're going to do with it, and we can talk about goals and all that another time, and how serious you should take them. But when it comes to resolution, don't get so caught up just because it's New Year's. It's just a time for reflection. It's a time to start again. It's a time that we can have in common. Now, there's the anti-side also that are completely against resolutions, and I get this really big time. I completely understand why you wouldn't be for resolutions, and oftentimes it can be a person that's against goals and against goal setting, and I completely get that on the other end of it. But the one thing you can miss, okay, if not now, when? If you're not going to set a different course in your life, which is what it's really all about. If you're not going to change something, if you're not going to move a little bit differently, if you're not going to do things a little bit differently, if not now, when? It doesn't have to happen on the 1st. And you may not want to have to do it on the 1st because you're an anti-conformist and you're just not going to be for that. You're going to do it on the 2nd. You're going to do it on February 1st or whatever. It doesn't matter. That's fine. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But don't poo-poo people just because they go along with it. If they go along with it, some people, they need that extra push, and they need to do it at the same time everyone else is. And at least it's something that we talk about. We talk about improving ourselves one time a year. Hey, that's a start. You know. So the resolution thing, I see all sides of it. I get it. Don't take it too seriously, and don't be too far against it, because it has its purpose. It has its place. So at least that's my take on it. Hey, I've got the leg lamp here. We're going to be putting it away. This is the last day, and the Christmas story mug. I'll be putting that away till next year, because we've turned a page. We're going the next level, and there's a lot of things that I see happening this next year that I've really switched this last year in how I perceive where things are headed next, and it's all good. It's all a good thing, and we're going in a good direction. I'm really happy about what's coming next. So can't wait to bring you along with me. Plan on doing more of this. Plan on a lot of extra things this year. And if there's something you'd like to see different, hey, leave a comment wherever you're watching or listening to this. That's all I've got for tonight. You have a good one. We'll be back next time. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.